Hello, friend. Joe at the office here. Today I want to talk about the visualization of debt reduction using Microsoft Excel functions, NPER, which is number of periods, payment, principal payment, future value, interest payment, and just a way to see how you can become debt free, which is baby step number 2 in Dave Ramsey's baby steps. So the goal is to become debt free as soon as possible. And the steps for doing this on your own are download or create a budget document. You can use my video series on how to create a personal household budget on my channel. Populate your budget with your realistic income and expenditure plan for the year with your goals in mind. And then work the plan. Keep track of your actuals throughout the year. Utilize overages to pay down debt, either using the Avalanche or Snowball method according to your plan. So let's go ahead and start getting a look at how we would visualize this and implement it in our budget plan. So I made this overly complicated debt payoff calculator. Actually, I downloaded this template from Microsoft in Excel, and you can put in your balance owed, your interest rate, monthly payments, proposed monthly payments, to see what the difference will be with how quickly you can pay off an individual debt. I didn't use any of this, but it is available if you like prettiness, whatever. So, like I said, this overly complicated thing, and I built some amortization tables for credit card debt over a year and vehicle debt. So the scenario that I'm working for is, or using is, I have 4 debts besides my house debt, my home debt. So I have a vehicle and 3 credit cards, Target, BP, and Chase. Current balances are $15,450 for my car at a 4.5% interest rates, and my minimum monthly payment is $306. And that is over 56 months, 56 payments. Target credit card, I owe $410 at a 9% interest rate. My minimum payment every month is $20, and at that rate, it would take me almost 2 years to pay off that $400. BP, $860 in debt, 14% interest rate, $25 minimum payment. It would take almost 4 years to pay that off. Chase, credit card, $3,230 at a 15% interest rate. My minimum monthly payment is $75, and that'll take me over 5 years to pay off if I pay that. So I did use the NPER, the number of periods, to calculate how long it will take me to pay, just paying the minimum payment for these. And we'll go ahead and take a quick look at this. The Excel NPER function is a financial function that returns the number of periods for loans or investments if you're using it for that. You can use the NPER function to get the number of payment periods for a loan, given the amount, the interest rate, and periodic payment amount. So the syntax, not perfect, but so NPER, I use roundup so we don't get, so I always get the highest value of months remaining, because even if it would, my last payment would be lower than my minimum payment, it doesn't matter. I want to know how long it's going to take me, and I'll be making a payment that final month if I continue to pay the minimum payment. So roundup is what I use there. So for the NPER, we're going to take the interest rate divided by 12. So the interest rate of 4.5 in this case divided by 12, and then the payment that we're making. So in this case, the minimum payment, G3, and the present value, that's how much we owe currently, the current balance of this debt. And the future value we want to be 0, so we put in 0. And then the type is, it's either due, the payment's due at the end of the period, which is a 0, which I probably should use, or the beginning of a period, which is 0. It defaults to 0. And then the end of my roundup statement, which is I rounded up to the nearest 0 decimal place. No decimal places. All right. So that's the NPER function. I just copied it down here. And so now we know how long it's going to take. So if we make the minimum payments according to our budget here, I made a budget sheet here. This is copied straight from our budget plan. You can see that I'm paying $426 a month just making the minimum payment. So now I want to talk about future value. So if I just continue to do this, I'm actually paying about $8,000 more for these 4 debts over the life of the loans or the debts than what my present value of the debt is. $8,000 I'm throwing away over the next 5 years if I just pay the minimum payment on this. That's going to be a motivating factor for trying to put as much money as I can on a monthly basis into paying off my debt. And that's the secret to debt reduction over time. So after calculating my annual household personal budget, getting my spouse to agree with this is something that we have to do, we need to make a decision together, or if you're single, you have to make this decision and just you're gonna have to cut up your credit cards, so you cannot accumulate any additional debt. And I understand that this may be a struggle for some people because they may have gotten into the habit of using credit cards to pay for their gas or purchases. I want everybody to understand that it was not a struggle. You did not struggle to get into debt. It's easy to get into debt. People will give you credit cards. Companies will give you credit cards, quickly without a struggle. But it is probably going to be a struggle to get out of debt. But it is worth it. You need to do this. You're going to have to maybe cut back on some things, some entertainment, additional purchases that you make, frivolous expenditures, things you go into a store you don't plan on buying and you buy it anyway because you have the credit to do so. So after evaluating my budget, I was able to determine that I have about $400 more each month to pay towards paying down my debt. So I'm going to show you how to do that. And there are really two philosophies when going about this. The Avalanche, which means to pay off the highest interest rate debts first, and the Snowball, which is to pay off the lowest current balance debts first. And there's pros and cons with both of these, but financially the Snowball method is going to get your debt paid off the fastest. And that's because this minimum payment of $20, once you get this current balance paid off, you're going to be able to apply that, not only what you were, the additional money you were, but also this $20 towards whatever your next lowest payment debt is, which will be here. So let's go ahead and adjust our budget for using the Snowball method. So we can see that our current balance of $410 on our target is our lowest payment. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually, in January of this year, once we've cut up our credit cards, we're going to go ahead and pay off our target credit card. So we're going to pay the $410 here, which will mean that the rest of this is zero. The rest of our payments here are zero. So that's going to mean that the money that we have every month additionally is going to be greater than $400. So $420 right there. We have an additional $10 that we can go ahead and send in with our second, our current balance here, our $860 for our BP credit card, so we can actually make a $35 payment that month. So that's going to take our extra money spent to zero because we've utilized our additional funds for January. And as we go to February, our budget plan is going to be to spend an extra $420 on that BP gas card. So we're going to pay $445 that month. Our current balance as you can see, that uses our additional money for the month. So let's go and let's play with March. Say we're going to pay $400 here. That actually is right about where we need to be, about $10 over, so I think it's probably $390, but the interest payment was $20. And as you can see, if we pay the $400 here, we are going to be, our balance was $399. So our new balance is going to be $0. So that means in March we'll have paid off our second credit card because we were able to put that extra money monthly onto our Snowball lowest debts. So now we have two debts left. We have the vehicle and the Chase credit card. We have $445. Oh, we got to spend this $45, so we got to put it on our Chase credit card. So we'll make this $120, and then we're going to use the $445 for April, spend it on the Chase credit card to pay that debt down. So that is $520, and we'll continue to do that until it is paid off. $520, $520, $520. Should be close. We're probably going to be about 400 here. We do that math real quick. So for September, we're going to do about 110, and that is going to. All right. After doing the math, this last month in September is about $440. So that'll take our balance down to almost $0. We have to pay $1 more or whatever, but whatever. Here we go. So then we have $80 left over for the month, and we can start paying off this vehicle debt. Let's do it as zeros here. You can start paying off this vehicle debt. So $386, and then we have an additional $520, which is $120 more because of the Snowball paying off the 3 debts. We have $120, which were the minimum payments for our 3 debts paid off, and we're in October. So starting our 10th month, we have 1 debt left, and we can start putting $826 towards this debt each month. So up from $306 to $826, $520 additional dollars. So we'll need to adjust these principal payments here, but well, let's go ahead and do it. All right, the math is correct now. So after making the 3 payments here, the last quarter of 2020, if this is when we're doing it, we can see that our vehicle balance, so not only have we paid off 3 credit card debts, but our vehicle balance has dropped almost $5,000 over this year. That's tremendous. So now our total debt went from $19,950 after 1 year of using the Snowball method and our additional monthly contribution to debt down to $10,600. So we've dropped it. We've cut our debt in half in 1 year, and by paying this $826 every month for the additional year, we should be able to pay that off. Let's see. Let's find out. So if our debt's $10,600 here, We want to divide it by 826. And so right at the end of 2021, we will be completely debt-free using this plan. So again, all of this is not necessary. I was just trying to do the amortization so we could see how much interest we were paying every month for each of these debts to help motivate us. And then we figured out the number of periods using the NPER function. We figured out the future value of our current balance. So if we just paid the minimum payment, how much will we pay in total? I mean, 4,000 or 3,600 additional. These are the additional amount of money that we'd have to pay in interest just to carry these loans. So $8,000 over the course of the loans. So this is how it works. This is the important part, making this plan and utilizing your additional monthly funds for reducing debt to meet your goal of becoming debt-free. And I think that's it. So if you have any comments or questions, leave them.